Hello. Can you guys hear me? I have AirPods in. Hey, Violet. Can you hear me? Am I here? Okay, well, I'm going to just start chatting. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. I think I'm connected. Okay, so today, what I wanted to talk about is hardships on YouTube because I think that there are plenty of them, and I think that it's really good if we're able to talk about them together because I think that a lot of the hardships that I've had or like the difficulties that I'm having on YouTube, I tend to think I'm the only one. And then when I get a chance to talk to other people, I see that it's like a similar problem and it makes me feel a lot better. So that is what I thought we would talk about today and just see if we could maybe. Oh, yay. Hey, Daniel. You can hear me, I'm assuming. Your girl is challenged with technology. So, anyway, so I just wanted to start it off with what you guys think is your biggest challenge in regards to YouTube. Um, cool, cool. Uh, I guess I'll go first. I think that my biggest challenge is imposter syndrome. You guys know what that is? That is basically like every time you try to do something, then you'll like say to yourself, "Oh, you have no right to do that. Like, who are you to talk on this or to do that?" So that's definitely something that I've dealt with a lot in my life. And especially like with the kind of content I'm making right now, to be very honest, like I'm trying to make content for YouTubers and because I just feel like, hey, you want to come say hi real quick? Okay, come here real quick. It's Stella. Go back and do your work.
Wait, Mama.
Yeah.
I think I only have one more thing to do.
Okay. Go work on it. Okay. And you guys can do chores after that, and then y'all can just hang out until I'm done.
Okay. Can you just knock on the door asking if Mouse can play?
Y'all can't go out right now.
I know, but like Mouse after she's done with his homework.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Hey, Violet. Violet says, always the biggest challenge is making content that people want to watch without being a copycat. Yeah, for sure. Um, so I think that that is a really, really big thing, especially I feel like when you're starting a channel. Um, I think that if you've watched YouTube for a while, you've typically watched a certain kind of content. And so that's kind of your idea behind making content, unless you're already aware of a super niche thing that you have going on. Um, and so that can be difficult because it's like a comfort zone to do the thing that other people are doing. Um, And, like, in reality, like, I always think, "Oh, so and so has done this or that," but in reality, like, all content has been done before, you're just putting your own personal spin on it, so, um, Daniel, what do you feel you should talk on? So, like, my passion is talking about YouTube. There are, like, a million things that I love to talk about and things that I'm interested in. Um like a lifelong learner and information and just different things about life is really exciting to me, but so I have to keep narrowing it down to the thing that I feel like I am most passionate about day to day and not just for like a month or two at a time. um hey, Shani. So yeah, nothing new under the sun. And so anyway, so the focus that I have that like I am always interested in talking about is YouTube. And when I think about who I want to serve, I think most about my friends on YouTube. And so that's why I just hope to have a channel where I talk about like some technical how to's, but also more about like mindset stuff because I think for most of us, the mindset is kind of the most difficult thing to like be on top of. Um, Daniel says, yeah, never have the audience depict your content. Well, okay. So I think that you shouldn't feel pressured to depict content that your audience wants. However, it just depends on where you are because, like, I want to know what you guys want to talk about so that I can make content that's actually helpful to you. Like, if I only talk about my like little particular things, like if I talk to you about how most of the time when I'm filming videos, I need to go get in my car because that's the only quiet place, that's not really helpful. And so I want to make content that is kind of decided by the audience to a certain degree, not entirely, but hey, Avery. So, so if you're just jumping on, we're just talking about like the difficulties of YouTube, things that are hard for you. And so feel free to pop in what you think is one of your difficulties or like the hardest thing for you to deal with for YouTube. Um, Violet says she wants to make many videos where she knew her audience wouldn't be interested. You did some and it doesn't get views. Um, yeah, been there. um, but I think like Violet, I love your content. I think that you have such a special way of putting together a video. You and Daniel are a lot alike actually, because y'all have a vision for your content that is so special and unique. And I love it. Um, and you're right, Daniel, you never know what the audience will like. Some of the stuff that I put out that I thought was going to be like less well received was the most well received. So that is definitely the case. But anyway, so I think for all of us, probably time is a major issue. Um, I know Daniel said he spends, did you say 3 hours a week on content? Hey, Sarah, how much time do you guys spend on YouTube in a like average week? And also, how many videos are you putting out? Okay, do you want to say hi now? My son Miles. Okay,
Comment down below if you like my hair.
comment down below if you like his hair. Okay, not right now. Okay, thank you. Yeah, 3 hours for Daniel. So if I put together 2 videos in a week, I spend 15 hours on it, probably 10 to 15, depending on like how in depth it is. Oh, thank you, Violet. I'll tell him. Uh, okay, efficient editing and recording. Yes. And recording with intention. Also, yes. But you also said, Daniel, that you film your take or you film your talking parts in one take. Never would that happen in my life ever. Like, it just wouldn't. Even when, like, I've tried to do videos where I don't script it at all, where I don't have a plan. I just like know what I want to talk about and I'll start into it. And I also have videos where I've really kind of gone through all of my talking points, the things that I want to get across. And that definitely takes less time when I have like an organization to it, but it still takes quite a long time. Yeah, I don't escape. They're with me the whole time, Daniel.
We're watching here live.
Okay, go downstairs. um, anyway, so like I edit a lot of times at night once the kids are in bed. You can film in one take, Daniel says. I am practicing. So I think this is one of those things where if this isn't Violet, you should definitely pay Daniel a visit. You'd really like his channel and he would really like yours. Um, so Sarah says she works full time, 40 plus hours, and tries to shoot for one video a week, but that is hard. She should probably spend a good 2 to 3 hours editing one video, no goal in mind, just love doing it. Yeah, that's cool. Um, so Sarah, I have been in school for the past couple of years and it's been full time and then I was working part time and I was lucky to get out one video a week. It's incredibly hard to do that. So my hat is off to you. I know how much you're juggling and what you're sacrificing to just get a video out, but that's really cool that you love doing it. I love making content. And I think maybe part of the reason that I take so long is because I just enjoy the process. I like researching different ways of doing things. I don't know. It's just something fun that I love to do. Um, Violet says some videos took me weeks because I had to put stuff together through time. Like the video I did on Africa took me 2 months for a 5-minute video. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And there are, I think depending on the kind of content you put out too, like that's going to be a video that requires like a great deal. And some videos, like most of the videos I do are just sit down videos, which I mean, they shouldn't take that long, but they do because can I blame it on being a mom? Can I blame it on the fact that every time I sit down, my darling angels come and they want to say something, or I have like a bunch of dogs and they'll be loud? Thank you, Sarah. Um, so I'm gonna blame it on being a mom. That's why it takes a long time. So, Daniel, you haven't said anything that is hard for you about filming. Is there anything that's hard for you about YouTube? Does anybody else want to put in anything that they think is difficult? I'm gonna drink my monster. Um, I was talking about imposter syndrome earlier, which is just like, who am I to do this content? And then what I was getting to with that is the fact that I have a YouTube channel, which I definitely don't do everything perfectly. And I have so much room to grow. And so that's why it's difficult sometimes for me to make those videos because I just think like I don't have room to talk. But I'm kind of starting to understand that if you just are willing to share the things that are going on, that is going to be so helpful to people if you just say, like, when I first started doing time as Daniel's hardship, yeah, Shani, the watch hours are hard if you want to get monetized, and I do. So when I first started doing YouTube, I really looked around for people who had been doing YouTube for a long time that had like any kind of diary, if you will, of how the process had gone, and I didn't see it. Like I would find bigger YouTubers who would say, "Here's my advice," and they give you like the same 5 generic tips that everyone does. So I started making YouTube journals, and if you go back, maybe please just don't watch them, but I just wanted to document exactly how things were going and just be very transparent about like how many subscribers I had and views and things like that. And actually that I was so self-conscious of doing those videos, but those have been I've heard a lot of people say that they liked watching those when we came up together because it was just like sharing the information that I had and like what my experience was. So I think that that's really good. Um yeah, Daniel says his family deserves his full attention. Time is his hardship. Yeah. Violet says if you have a niche, then it's hard to make great content that doesn't look like you watched 100 other people's channels. When something happens in the camera world, 10,000 YouTubers do it and I see it late. Yeah. So that's interesting, Violet, because I think that your channel is the only I have maybe one other person that I watch that makes content that's sort of similar to your niche. And I feel like yours is very unique. I don't feel like it looks like anyone else's, and I think it's just the way you present it, so that's cool. Uh, yeah, the journals, I just thought the YouTube journals would be a good thing for like, even me, when I get discouraged, I will occasionally go back and look at those video journals, and I'm like, "Okay, like, I've learned a lot in this amount of time." If nothing else, like, the friendships that I've made on here are incredibly encouraging to me. Um, what do you guys think about your community too? Do you have a lot of engagement? Does it give you a lot of inspiration? Um, yeah. So I I don't really know how to I don't really know how to separate family and editing, Daniel, because he says like when his family has his full attention, and then when he edits, he edits. I don't really know how to do that since we're together all the time now, all the time. Um, and honestly, there's a lot of times that they're doing different things. Like my oldest is 20 years old, and then I have a 7 and a 9-year-old, and so there's just a lot of stuff. If they're playing outside, like, that's a perfect opportunity for me to do something, or if they're working on schoolwork, a lot of time I'll just sit at the table with them, and I'll work on doing different things for YouTube so that I'm just like, "Oh, you wake up super early?" I stay up super late. I am not a morning person. Um, but you're a Marine, right? Yeah, engagement is the best part to me. Like, I have told you guys that I really hate, being live or, like, talking, being the center of attention kinda thing. It makes me super nervous. I'm, like, super shaky right now, but the thing is, when I did the live last week, there were just a couple of you that hopped on, but it was so stinking fun to talk to you guys because I know y'all, like, we're friends, and it's so much fun to just be able to, like, get to know you better and, like, have a conversation a little bit more quickly. Yeah, yeah, you are a Marine. Violet says, "Thank you for your service." Agreed. Yeah, he's got some cool content, about that on his channel, Violet. Um, so that's basically those are my biggest hardships, I would say, is just, like, the imposter syndrome and the time, running out of content ideas, that does happen to me. Um, but it's basically because I feel like a lot of what I wanna talk about is mindset, and I don't ever wanna, like, keep saying the same things over and over again, and also, when I talk about mindset, I want this is something I'm still struggling with, so if you guys wanna weigh in, that would be cool, but I there's a reason that I have mindset shifts to talk about, like, I have a lot of trauma that I have kind of stepped away from and have made a lot of progress over the years to get over, and I never know how much to share. Like, I feel like I should share it because then that will let you guys know that I'm not like, that I know what I'm talking about, that I've had a good opportunity to work through some of this stuff, but then I'm like, do people wanna, like, know about stuff in a video? I don't know. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're friends now. Hardships are overcome with perspective change. S Share only what I am comfortable sharing, like, I am an open book. I feel like the things that happen are very helpful in many ways for other people. But I just don't know if that's what people want to hear, or how much you go into it. If you just casually reference and then move on, I just don't know. Um, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Avery. She's just saw the Mother's Day collab. Um, hey, Karen. Um, the Mother's Day collab was so fun. I love those ladies. Lede and I have been best friends for a hot minute, because she and I live in the same city, which was an incredible thing because I found her channel and like maybe a couple of months into it, I realized she referenced something and I was like, "Are you in Houston?" And she was, and then that's just been the best. Um, Sarah says, I think people would be open to hearing about hardships. You could possibly help someone else. Yeah. Danielle says, sharing is caring creates intimacy with audience. If you think it's important, then share. Hey, Anna, good morning. Um, okay. Thank you for saying that, Sarah. I do think it's helpful to people because I think that like the things that we struggle with the most are things that we believe we're alone in. Like that's our fight that we have to deal with on our own. And it's not like there's so many people who want to relate to you. And so that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to do a video like this because I talk to I belong to a mastermind, and when we talk about different things, like we troubleshoot a lot and we explain like how things are going for us. And it's interesting because when we bring something to the group, we usually think that we're the only ones struggling with it. And then we say it out loud, and just saying it out loud and then having everyone weigh in, we realize, oh, this is like, there are no new problems. Most of our problems are pretty common. One happy mama. Good morning, new to your channel. Hi, what's your name? Um, Danielle asked the hashtag no small creator. Yeah, I've actually wondered about that too. Casey. Hi, Casey. Cool. So we were just talking about hardships on YouTube. So feel free to weigh in about things that are difficult for you. Um, we have, yeah, so happy to see you, Karen. Um, oh, it's a secret, Violet says. Okay, cool, 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 cool. So I guess that's about all that I wanted to talk about. Those are the things that are like very difficult for me and that I've been kind of trying to work through how to do. And honestly, I just am always a little bit worried about my content. Like I really care about the content. I really care about you guys and I want it to not be a waste of your time. I'm always afraid that that's going to be I'm gonna put out something that isn't helpful to you guys, and that's a major worry that I have. So I wanna add something to the people who watch my videos every time, and so I do a lot of debating about that in my head. Casey said it's definitely hard starting out YouTube because you're trying to figure out what you wanna do, what you want your content to be about. How long have you been on YouTube, Casey? Violet, that's cool that you're carrying out the hashtag of your friend. Um, so I have Casey, I've been on YouTube for a year and a half and I've made like over 130 videos and I'm still like the struggle is still pretty real. Um, Part of it I think is a good thing. Like if I think like the push to always consider your content and think about how to level up and make it more engaging or more relevant. I think that that could be a very good thing because it just keeps you from being too comfortable. It keeps you from making like vanity content, I would say, like things that are just interesting to you, but like they're not helpful to anybody else. And oh, Anna says, what's the topic of the live? Sorry, I'm lost. So we're just talking about things that are hard about YouTube, like things that we struggle with in our YouTube journey. Um, Casey says, I've done YouTube for about 3 years, but deleted it because I was discouraged. Now I'm back on here for about a couple of months. Um, that's why. So why did you get discouraged? Was it just like you weren't sure about your direction or just the engagement or what was it? It could be very discouraging. Um, so the things that I have really been discouraged about with YouTube is like I was saying earlier, I spend a good deal of time like thinking about the videos and think and making them, editing and everything. And sometimes you'll put out something that you put so much of your heart and soul into, and then it's like crickets. You're like, anyone? Anyone? I love you guys. I made this content for you. Come watch it. Yeah, the direction, Casey. Okay, yeah. Um, if you just took a scroll through the thumbnails on my channel, oh my gosh, I've changed direction a whole bunch of times. But I think for most of us, like that, you have to do that. You just have to go through the process before you get to a point where it's clarified for you. Like there are certain people who know, like just like there are kids who you'll ask them what they want to do when they're a child and they're like, I want to be a doctor. And then they become a doctor. That is an anomaly. That is not most of us. Most of us are interested in a lot of things, but we don't feel like we're an expert on many things. And I think, especially for women, I see like this desire to really have a handle on the content that you make, like to be good at this certain content. Um, or at least for me and for a lot of the people that I've spoken to, there's an element of like, well, I want to do this content, but I don't really have the authority to speak on it. So, um, Anna says, for me, it's just the time and supporting everyone. Yeah. So, are you very short on time, Anna? And as far as supporting everyone, is that time the time issue too? Like just having time to watch people's videos? Um, yeah. And then Casey says, "This makes so much sense. I guess it helps to find out where you're going when you put different things out." Yeah. So, um, I believe that it's like almost a process of elimination. Like I started out making cleaning videos and decorating videos because that was what I saw, and I felt like I was capable of doing that. But that really didn't make me very happy. I really didn't want to do that, and so I stopped doing that. But I keep zigzagging because I have a lot of interests and I want to put out content that people respond to and everything. But anyway, um, so that's about it. Well, it's been about 30 minutes, so I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I'm so glad to get to talk to you, all of you guys. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? Anna says, I feel like I'm always watching on TV. It seems it's just easier for me, but then you can't really comment from the TV. Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who watches everything from the TV and then she goes back later. She'll like just jot down on a notepad like the channel and like something she had meant to comment about, and then she'll just go back later and do it. But if you're short on time, like it's all pretty difficult to do. Um, Yep. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hop off. My husband finally agreed to let us get a pool because the kids don't have anyone to play with, and so he is digging in the backyard, leveling the backyard, so I'm gonna go help him. Karen says, "For me, it's harder to find time to learn what works on the algorithm, tips for greater exposure. Maybe I can do more in this lockdown." Karen, are you still working from home primarily, or are you doing any travel? Thank you, Avery. I appreciate you. Thank you, Violet. Karen, let me know though, because I'm curious about like how much time. And also your channel is such a gem. Like I just feel like everyone should watch your channel. Bye, Sarah. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later.